So our group is Alpha Phi. Sorry, it's not working. Does anyone have one that works? Oh, thank you. Thanks. Sorry, it's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
No, it doesn't work either.
Wait, I can just use a machine to refill it.
Yeah, how about you refill it?
Hi, we're Alpha Phi.
So, as students, we see teachers and fellow classmates throwing out whiteboard markers every single day. So, however, in departments at schools, there are a ton waiting to be used, so teachers don't need to worry about how much they throw out. Wrong. Every time a teacher or student throws out a whiteboard marker, they're not only wasting the school supply budget, but they're harming the environment in a very significant way as well. According to OSPEN, 400 million whiteboard markers are thrown out every year in America alone. The plastic of these markers never decompose, so every one of them that's ever been thrown out is sitting in a landfill somewhere. The ink, which has chemicals, can contaminate other plastic around it, preventing that plastic from being properly recycled. Our goal at Alpha Phi is to end the constant purchase and disposal of whiteboard markers by providing a revolutionary new refillable whiteboard marker that never needs to be thrown out, ultimately saving schools and businesses a fortune, while helping put a dent in the plastic waste crisis. I'm Nico Ducci, CFO of Alpha Phi.
I'm Michelle Prupis, the CMCO.
I'm Marco Tala, CPIO and CCO.
And I'm Logan Cohn, COO and CTO.
So, as I alluded to in the introduction, these are the three problems we're trying to solve. Teachers often have to buy excessive amount of markers to keep up with how much the rate at which they throw them out. This is because they dry out quickly and often. And there's really nothing else we can do when they run out besides to toss them in the can.
So here's a quick survey result for you. How often do you use a marker that doesn't work well? 1 being all the time and 5 being not at all. As you can clearly see all the way to the left, a lot of people use markers that don't work well a lot of your time. And it just, people don't want to do it, and it just doesn't, you don't really know what to do after it doesn't work well. So people want to see a change, and hopefully at Alpha Phi we're going to give them a change. Another quick survey, which proves, of the techniques of what they try to do, instead of throwing it out, all these people on a scale from 1 to 5, how effective their solution is, all of them again, 1, 2, and 3, their solutions are not working. People have tried, they continue to try to see if they can revive the marker. No one has been able to do it in like a way that continues to happen, so here at Alpha Phi we're going to try and do that. Our main places of where it's going to happen is at home, at school, and at work. As you can clearly see, look at those big numbers. And also we want to see what people want in the actual marker. And you can see here, long-lasting, easy to use and fast, as well as eco-friendly. And we will accomplish all three of those tasks as well as many more in them.
So our product consists in 3 different pieces. The first one is the marker itself. The marker is going to be unique by having a perfect cylinder shape, making it look professional and futuristic. It's going to be clear so that you can see the ink status, and it's going to be refillable. The second part of it is the cartridges. The cartridges are going to be you're going to be able to use them only with our markers, and they're going to come with the station. Now the cartridges are what is directly refilling our markers. Now the station makes a more convenient use of the markers and the cartridges because it holds in perfect place the cartridges, and it has a magnet making it more accessible for classrooms. Now the ink flowing from the cartridges to the marker is being used. We have come up with a vertical check valve. It's used a lot in engineering. It's a valve that makes liquid of any kind flow only in one direction. So by plugging in the marker, it will lift the plate by allowing the ink to flow in. But for the prototype, we're going to use a swing check valve. So I don't know if we can pop up the video because it's going to help for a better understanding. Yeah. So by making the marker go inside, it's going to lift the plate and close it. So these are 2 different valves, but they work both.
How do I get this back to full screen?
The one over there.
That
Next
one.
to this,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know there's a lot of information here. There's even one right there, maybe a little bigger. This is just all the perfect measures and the sketches and materials of what we're going to use. Our customer segment is going to be school administrators, business owners, and teachers.
Now, in order for us to get those target audiences, we have to first convince the teachers, because the teachers are the ones that are going to convince the administrators of each department who actually buy the markers to actually let them try our markers. So here we wanted to interview a lot of teachers, and why I say a lot, because it's a lot, because we want to understand what their problems are with markers, what they believe we should do, and how they think that markers will be for a better future. So that's why we interview a lot of teachers.
So our main competitors are Boardmaster, Aspen, Expo, and Office Depot. So Office Depot and Expo are indirect competitors, while Aspen and Boardmasters are direct competitors. Boardmasters has this kind of cartridges that gets plugged in the marker, and you have to replace them constantly. Aspen sells little ink refills that you have to drop inside the marker. It gets a little messy. Expo, well, we all know Expo is the most used, most popular, easy, simple. And Office Depot is 100% recyclable and 50% post-consumer.
Alright, so our UVP is basically these two things, just compared with the competitors. These are the two things that makes us stand out. So the ink station, no one has anything like it. There's cartridges and droppers, but there's not actually a station for you to simply plug it in and get your marker mechanically refilled with the vertical check valve that Marco explained. So these two things really define us as a quick and easy station, easy to use, and can be placed really anywhere.
So pricing right here, the refill station will cost $35. The 4-pack with the minis will be a future extension, which I will talk about later. The big cartridges, you could buy them as individuals, which will cost $7. Those will fill more markers than the mini ones, which will cost $3, as you can clearly see here.
So this is our profit margin chart, as you can see. So this is approximately for about one package with the stations. So the station package is one station, 4 big cartridges, and then 4 of our own markers. So we're going to be starting out by 3D printing our own stations, and that's going to cost about $3. The ink, as you can see there, we're going to have to buy ink from other people's before we start buying them straight from manufacturers. So this this cost will hopefully decrease as time goes on, and then the mechanisms that Marco explained comes out to $12.18, and we're selling them, we get a 65.2% profit margin.
Our total addressable market, I took the total number of businesses and the total number of schools in the United States and got this number, which was 3 billion, and et cetera. With the servable addressable market, we're going to actually only stay locally in Illinois at the beginning, so you look up the local number of schools in Illinois, the local number of businesses, you take the percentage of that, and we got this number right here. As you can see, 3.2%, and there's 4,266 schools located in Illinois.
So, our channel map, we're essentially going to be starting out with just using a website to get our product across. We feel that it is the easiest and cheapest way in order to get our consumers to be able to purchase our product. Along with being affordable, using something online, we can easily see analytics and data, so that will help us understand what advertisements work and what marketing doesn't work. On the downside, using a website, it's hard for people to really feel our product and see that it works, and because we're a startup company, people might not trust us enough to put so much money into something that they don't actually know works. And our marketing is going to be based around the idea of the alpha wolf. We are the alpha company, so we think that our markers will be the best of the best and supreme, if you might say. And the wolf is our marketing is gonna be based around all the different stories and adventures that this wolf goes on to save the planet by picking up markers and refilling them. And that will be an entertaining way to advertise. To get our company going, we're gonna start with a Kickstarter, along with talking to our fellow teachers and asking if they can use our system, and implementing them into classrooms, along with sending out emails from our interviews. To keep our customers, we're going to have a really good customer service, we're going to have optional surveys after purchase so that we can get customer feedback along with continuous emails. To grow, we're going to have different discounts that people can use to get people to buy different products.
So here's our MVP plan, and these are the multiple assumptions that we're going to make, and you can see how we're going to get it and what we're hoping to get. So we're hoping that people will want to use the station, and then we're hoping that all the cartridges and all the ink we're going to sell is going to save them than just continuously buying more markers. And the Kickstarter is going to help us fund the startup. And then hopefully, and from our surveys, we've learned that school staff do care about throwing away markers and the effect on the environment. So here's our timeline that we put together. So in January, we have the prototype, and then hopefully we'll be able to create a video and actually build the model coming up. And in March, the Kickstarter and website will kick off once we have our product made and we could show demos. And then in April, we'll be putting them in classrooms so people can test them. And hopefully, and in May, we'll be driving traffic to the website so we can continue to grow our client base. Here's our budget request. This is going to be for our 5 stations that we're going to start out in GBN. So there's the 3D printer production, $27, and we have 20 big ink cartridges. So we need to still figure out the dimensions and the volume of how much it's actually going to hold, although we do have a rough estimate. Mechanical attachments, as I explained before. The website, these will help us with, the Wix website will help us with advertising. And the Kickstarter will hopefully get donations. So $307 is our budget request.
Some future extensions, sorry. The 4-pack with minis, that would be a 4-pack of markers with our mini cartridges, which will be something down the road. A silicone ballpoint tip. When you see like in the pens, they write really nicely, so we believe if we put it in our markers, it will look very nice and neat and clear. New extension lines, some pens and normal markers. Maybe we're gonna extend not only to like whiteboard markers, but now actual pens and markers where like you could physically write in like on a piece of paper. And maybe if that does not work, replaceable tips where like if you're writing on the board and the marker gets frayed or anything, we'd be able to give you a replaceable tip marker, little tip on there.
Yeah, so there is our bench.
Yeah, so we covered all this basically already. So
Yeah.
this is all basically review. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions?
So I'll go first. Nice job. Can you just take me back to, so if I'm a teacher,
Yeah.
what do I need to have in my room? So if I have 4 cartridges, let's say I have 4 different colors, like, can you just sort of take me through like the real scenario with one teacher, let's say 4 colors?
Okay,
and,
so
like, with
let's.
the station, like, does the station have 4 different colors? or-
Yes.
So I was just trying to understand
Okay,
like
yeah.
the actual experience.
So let's say it has the magnets on the back of the station, so it holds them on a whiteboard, who makes it easier to access. Your marker is dry out or finished, so you will plug it in a few seconds. You will plug it in the station, but the station contains the cartridges. It keeps them in place. You will refill it. It will be all over in a few seconds, and you will take it out and it will be ready to go.
So to add on to that, so in the pricing, you saw that the station was $35.
Right.
So that all comes with the station itself and 4 big cartridges with it, as well as 4 of our own markers. And those cartridges, we're going to start with red, blue, black, and green, the most popular ones. And then you could buy separately once you run out, $7 for the big cartridges to refill.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what you would be having.
And so